Welcome back to the Tech Zone. Boy, time flies while you are in the zone. If you missed my other two interviews, you can always catch up on demand. ABC News Radio came at 1490, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube. The best way to connect and find out all the ways is go to my website, paulamadeouslane.com. It's funny, my producer, Christina, she looks at my website and says, it looks like paulmadeouslane.com. Well, anyway, you can remember it. Just come by and definitely check it out. If you travel a lot, like myself, stay at a number of hotels, what if I told you that the innovation exists now for hotels to make sure that our needs are met in the best way possible? I'm talking about connected hotels. What does that mean for not only you and I, but for the folks in the hotel industry and hospitality industry as well? And I'm so happy right now to have the Executive Vice President of Go Concierge, Adam Israel. How you doing, Adam?
I'm doing great. It's great to be with you, Paul.
Great to have you, my friend. And what I wanted to do before we started off our conversation was just being a part of the Alice company, the Alice team. Talk about that and when that happened, because that's huge.
Well, it's really exciting. I'm certainly grateful to be a part of this team. And it really started very recently. So in September, we announced the acquisition of Go Concierge, acquired by the Alice company, and really collectively looking to hit the market with amazing tools and to build technology that adds value to our clients and future clients. And we're really excited to be part of it.
Now, as your background, Adam, of Executive Vice President of Go Concierge, being part of the Alice team, discuss, your background and what you brought to the table, especially being a part of the hospitality industry and how everything just goes together now.
Well, I think as part of the hospitality sector, it's something you have a passion for. And many years ago, happened to be working in hotels and never the idea of, hey, I want to finish school and go work in hotels was happenstance. And we were trying to add efficiencies to the hotel operation. And we learned that there's so many different manual parts to that operation. And the thought was, is there any way we could create tools so that we could provide our team with a better opportunity to enhance the guest experience? And that's really where the idea came from for Go Concierge. So this was during the .com, craze, and it was going back to business school. And I thought, gosh, if we could create a tool like this, I know from working the hotels that this is something that not only our hotel could benefit from, but other hotels. And let's see if we can create this. And we did it on a shoestring and started to build up technology and started in Los Angeles and kind of pounded the pavement because we really believed in adding value for the concierge and the hotel operation. And we started to get really great feedback, and going from one hotel to two hotels. Then suddenly we really picked up some traction and had some really great hotels and brands working with us. And we were able to grow it to not only throughout the United States, but over 60 countries around the world.
And talk about the technology, the time in which we live in, that really makes this possible to do with this platform. Because being in the hospitality industry for years, did you ever think the technology would ever catch up with the vision and the desire to put something like this together?
Well, we definitely had the idea at the time. We thought, oh my God, this is the greatest thing. But then we ran into roadblocks, right? We thought, okay, instead of doing this in Microsoft Access database, let's put it on the internet. People said, that is the craziest idea. Why would you ever do that? Concierges don't even have internet access at hotels yet. I thought, well, that's going to come. So we just kept building, and slowly but surely, people started to embrace it. And to see what's happening now with the Alice team is the vision that's out there now, and the technology that's being created is just amazing. But it's also the pace at which we're able to bring the technology to the market. That's what was particularly appealing to me. And certainly when we were looking at different companies that were interested in Go Concierge, what really struck a chord with Alice is not only their team, but the vision that we shared of trying to consolidate different programs to one platform to make things efficient for the hotel and for the team members. They don't have to learn so many different systems. Can you consolidate all to one platform and be able to do so at a lower price than ever before? And I think what we're seeing right now in the marketplace is different, but I think it's going to be amazing. We're certainly excited to be part of it.
And when we talked about the acquisition with Alice, when it comes to Go Concierge, what has that done? We kind of touched on a little bit. What has that done to the way things were done before the acquisition to now? To have now this giant right here to help in the vision of the company.
Well, I think it's twofold, Paul. I think predominantly it's the resources and the team, because at the end of the day, technology is great, but you have to have the right team behind it. And I think our team is passionate. You've got a lot of people from the hospitality sector. So people that have lived in the hotels and live it and breathe it and understand what the needs are. But to be able to deliver that now and have more resources, because as a small team with Go Concierge, there's only so much that could get done. That was particularly appealing when I was looking at Alice, because their systems are great, their team is great, and their technology team is quickly creating technology, but on the forefront of being innovative. And that's just fun to be part of.
And Adam, as an executive vice president, we know maybe about 15, 20 years ago, the responsibilities of EVP is a lot different than what we have today, just because of the way things are done electronically and things like that. So talk about your role and what you oversee there in your department.
Sure. And now, at Alice, in that role, not so focused on the title. What we're focused is on getting things done. And I think that's the same throughout the entire Alice team. Really what we're trying to do is help people be successful. We've got about 70 people on the team now, which is going to grow to about 120 by next year. I mean, we're really focusing on rapid growth so we can deliver the types of products that the consumer is going to want, that our clients need. And what we try to do is enable our team and empower our team members to get things done. So we've got great technology, we've got great sales and marketing. And I really think that ultimately all that's great, but what really moves the needle is support, because it's not only providing great technology. To really be successful, I think you've got to deliver impeccable service and support, because you establish a relationship with your customers and they trust you. And we want to make sure that we deliver what we promise. So that's really what the focus is right now. I spend a lot of my time focusing on that. We're creating our roadmap, our technology roadmap. We're not just now, but we're very focused on the future and map it out for every quarter. What is it we want to accomplish? And that's really led by our technology team, as well as the leadership team, and by feedback from our clients. We want to hear from our clients, our customers, to know the direction we should be heading. But also, there's a visionary team at Alice that we're proud to be part of that is thinking ahead of the game. What can we do now that people need in the future to help enhance that service? And we're really excited about that.
Well said. And when we look at the different hotel departments out there, which departments can really benefit from the efficiencies of this platform?
Is it okay to say all of them?
Absolutely.
I always look at it as what I call a circle of success. And along that circle, you've got different departments, right? Because you've got housekeeping, you've got the front desk, you've got the restaurant, you've got the concierge, you've got guest services. And for that impeccable guest experience, it all has to work well. If any chain, any link along that circle breaks, then we fail for the guest. And it doesn't matter whether it happened at housekeeping or the restaurant. They're going to come to the front desk, they're going to come to the concierge. We have to take care of it. So what's happening with Alice is that we're empowering all departments, whether it's the concierge, the front desk, engineering, housekeeping, front of the house, back of the house. We're enabling them to communicate more effectively. And I think when you do that, you notice that less things fall through the cracks. And it's amazing to see the impact it makes when the properties embrace the technology and are able to spend more time and attention on the guest, less time trying to do things manually. It dramatically changes the experience. And as a whole in the industry, I think overall, we can all do a better job of delivering a better experience. And that's what we're focusing on, is what can we do to increase the overall guest satisfaction? Because you can look at the scores, and by sector, by vertical market, hospitality is not at the top. We can get it there. We need to dig in deep and deliver the technology that we believe will allow our team members at the hotels to communicate more effectively and deliver that guest experience.
Now let's talk about in particular when it comes to housekeeping. Mm-hmm. How are housekeeping departments seeing the efficiencies? Like walk us through the process.
Sure. So in housekeeping, if you think about a typical day for housekeeping, it's amazing. The work these ladies and gentlemen do are incredible. The amount of rooms they clean and the attention to detail they have to have. But how do you organize all that? Because in the morning they do 16 rooms, depending on how many, how large the hotel is, how many people they have, clean a lot of different rooms. We have to make sure that, number one, you know which rooms they're cleaning. We have to make sure that when they're in the rooms, what if they see something that's not right? If the light bulb's out, if the remote control's broken, if there's a problem, a stain on the carpet, how are they effectively communicating that? Because maybe it's things they can control, but sometimes they need to communicate with engineering. How does that happen? Well, instead of carrying radios around, which is what they've done in the past, now there are devices that they can carry, mobile devices that allow them to more effectively communicate with other departments. So it's not just what am I doing today, but here's what I'm doing. I'm off to clean the next room, but I know that engineering needs to come in and fix the TV in this room. And oh, by the way, through Alice, we can go ahead and take a picture of that, put it in the ticket. And that way, when engineering goes in, they're being more efficient because they don't need to take the time to figure out, wait, what were they? What light bulb was that? Oh, and the TV. Were there a couple of TVs in the room? Which one do we focus on? There's so many different areas to take care of for that guest experience in that room to be perfect. And a lot of times there are manual checklists that they need to go through, whether they're doing room inspections or preventative maintenance, even on that engineering side. That goes hand in hand with housekeeping. And one of the great features we just launched at Alice is checklist. And that can be customized per hotel. So whatever it is that they need to do, now we're not taking it for granted anymore or making sure we remember the proper way. It's right in front of us. It's on our handheld device, and we communicate that through the entire operation, which is great.
You know, one thing, whenever you mention technology to ones out there, they automatically think about just the bells and the whistles. My phone can do this, my phone can do that. Yep. But very rarely do ones think of, wow, this is making companies run more efficient and getting the job done and reducing cost. Because when you reduce cost, then some of that resources can go into other things like upgrades, go into, to really improve the facility and so forth.
Enhancements. And I think that's what it's all about is, can we make engineering a little bit more efficient? Can we make housekeeping a little bit more efficient? Can we make it easier for the concierge to spend more time and attention on the guest in whatever format the guest wants? The guests should be able to choose how they want to communicate. Maybe it's digitally, maybe it's over their phone, maybe it's text. And I think by enabling them with the right technology, now that concierge can do that and accommodate that guest request, however it is that they want to do it. And that's the beauty of hotels. The guest gets to select how they want to approach that.
That's amazing. And one thing too that no doubt is on all of our minds, and that security, and how is your platform and innovation helping hotel security meet the needs? Because I think what they do is amazing. I had no idea in the hospitality industry that security was so paramount to the success until I went on a cruise one year, and it was some unruly passengers. And I had no idea. I didn't even know security was even there until they started acting up, and then they came and took care of the situation. Yeah. So how's innovation really helping them to meet the needs too as well?
Well, it's empowering them to do their job, because with security, and just like you said, even with engineering, the joke is an amazing engineer you'll never see, right? Because things just work. And with security, they're doing a good job, right? Because you just don't see them. But in the moment of truth, when you need them, they need to respond. But then they also need to be able to document all this information. And how much time is it going to take them to manually put that together, throw it into a logbook, and then someone calls about it, and okay, let me go find that. I can't read the handwriting. That's just not the efficient way to go. But by embracing Alice and this type of technology, everything can be put in the tools. And time and date stamps, we have a history of everything. Lost and found is a very popular thing that comes up that can be managed by security and or housekeeping at the hotel. But it's a very manually driven solution. So when the person's leaving the hotel, the last thing they want to do is leave on a sour note because they left their watch in the room or they can't find it. The ability to get to that guest and respond quickly to turn a negative into a positive, so they leave feeling grateful that that was found instead of struggling because they can't find it, that could all be done now through technology. But what happens when something from a security standpoint happens and you need to communicate effectively, be able to text message your guest? These are things that can be done through technology. So it's better communication, it's being at the right place at the right time, but also allowing the team members to capture the information they need immediately and to access that information immediately. Because I think one of the other challenges we find is that people can have nice organized processes that are manual. How fast is it to be able to respond to that guest when they call? Are you putting them on hold and going to your office now to find the logbook to figure out where this information is? No. Now it's a click of a button. It's right there. Once again, delivering quick information and quick service to that guest to make their experience positive.
Well said, Adam. And how do we know if our favorite places to go stay are using Alice? Do they have like a little sign on the door somewhere we can check? Because I don't want to stay at a hotel if they don't have this. So how can we find out?
We need to flag the Alice flag on the hotels too, just as a little symbol there.
Absolutely.
But I think you'll know basically by the level of service you receive, because are things done efficiently? Do people wait in line to talk to the concierge because they're doing things manually? They just can't get to the guests fast enough. And I think today, at the end of the day, technology is great, but what really makes the impact is the level of service, the way you make them feel when they leave. And you need to provide your team with tools to be a differentiator, because today guests are going to leave, they'll fill out a review if they had a struggle. We want them to fill out those reviews when they had a great experience. And what differentiates the hotel? Because you go online, you want to find a nice hotel. They're all going to be beautiful, right? The lobby is going to be nice. The room's really nice. How do the concierge and the different team members make you feel by the time you left that hotel? That, to me, is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. That's what's going to make you come back. And that's also what's going to make you tell other people about your experience. The concierges work magic, and they create magical moments for the guests on a daily basis. It's just what they do. But that's the part that differentiates it. As much as I love technology, we provide them the technology so they could do their job and work their magic. And the concierge members and the Lake Lador members around the world deliver this type of amazing experience to these guests. And that's what guests remember when they leave. And when they come back to think, okay, I'm going back to New York, I'm going back to Miami, I'm going to Los Angeles, I'm going to London. Where should I stay this time? If they had an experience like that, that's what's going to bring them back, in my opinion.
Well said. Now, I assume this technology is available worldwide for partners to take part in if they would like to use the service. I don't see why they should not want to use this platform. But let's say out there through our viewing and listening audience out there that someone is a pretty higher up in a hotel chain, and they're like, I want to be a part of this. So Adam, how can they get more information about this great platform that you guys have?
Well, thanks so much. And the best way is to really reach out to our sales team, which does an amazing job at Alice, sales@aliceapp.com. And we'll be more than happy to share our information, provide an online demo, make sure you see firsthand how Alice operates, because I think that's the differentiator also. Once you see the technology, a lot of times people could be threatened by applications and technologies because there are a lot of amazing people that work in hotels, but they're not all comfortable with technology. And I think the fact that Alice is so user-friendly that it releases that burden. It makes people a little more comfortable when they realize they don't have to be threatened by the technology. It's going to help them do their job better. And when that happens, then they're ready to go. Then they're ready to embrace that technology and make it a way of life. So give us a call or send us an email, and we'll be more than happy to walk you through it so you can see firsthand how Alice can change the way your guest experiences at your hotel. Well
said. And Adam, I've been thoroughly blown away by our conversation and realizing that this technology exists out there, and just when it comes to Alice and everything that brings the credibility to the company, and just everything that your platform has out there is just amazing at Go Concierge, and we wish you all the success out there. And I know, being an EVP, you're very busy because the phone's ringing. You probably got
that.
You probably got to take it's fine. You probably got to take a phone call, but I really,
it's part of your fan base. They want to call and talk to you.
Yeah, let's put them on. But thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, and we look forward to chatting with you in the future too. And we'll talk about some other things that you guys, if you have any other type of technologies that's going into the platform, we'd love to hear more about it, my friend.
That'd be great. I'd love to stay in touch with you and share what we're doing, because I really feel like we're building something great with Alice. And thanks a lot for allowing me to be part of your great show, Paul.
Awesome. My pleasure.
All right.
Really enjoyed my chat with Adam Israel, EVP of Go Concierge and Alice Company. Thank you so much for joining me. Gosh, there was so much more we could have talked about, but due to the time constraints, there's only so much time that we have. But I'm looking forward to having Adam back and talk about some of this great innovation out there that they got over there at Go Concierge and Alice Company. All right. Well, it's time for us to get out of here. I always do a 80s pun before I leave the show. This time, I'm going to do a Coach Bobby Finstock. Now, some of you may know who Coach Bobby Finstock is, right? He was in the movie Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox and Styles. Styles was really the character who stole the show. But Coach Bobby Finstock talked about his 3 rules in life. Number 1, never go close to a woman with a tattoo of a dagger on her body. Number 2, never get less than 12 hours of sleep. And number 3, never, ever play cards with a man who has the first name of a city. He said you stick with those 3 things, everything else is cream cheese. But I would like to add and watch the Tech Zone, and everything else is cream cheese. Take care, folks. Great talking to you. See you next time.